Number 3b, 2/3 minus 3/8. So it's another fraction problem with subtraction. You needed to make sure that you use the giant 1 as we indicated here, okay? The 2/3 needed to be converted to have a common denominator that would match with 3/8 equivalent fractions. So first you want to find a common denominator, 3 and 8. Okay, so I'm going to list the multiples of 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. I don't think I have any of these numbers under 8, so I'm going to keep going. 3 times 6 is 18. 18. I don't think 18 is part of the 8s, so I'm going to keep going. 3 times 7 is 21. No, not it yet. 3 times 8 is 24. Oh, there it is. I think 24 is it. So 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. So there it is. 24 is my common denominator. So I needed to take 2/3 and subtract it by 3/8, but I couldn't do it unless I had the same shape. So the same cuts or the same shape that I'm going to have are going to be the ones that have 24 as the denominator. Okay, so I'm going to put 24 minus 24ths. Okay, so I'm writing down the denominator so I know what to aim for when I make my giant 1. So the giant 1 that we need to multiply by, if you're ever unsure which one of these actually matches, you just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Since I actually went down in order, all I have to do is count, and then I would find 3 times 8 is 24. So this needed to be multiplied by 8 to get 24 done. Then the numerator had to be multiplied as well. I still have people forgetting to multiply 2 times 8, so please make sure you do that. 2 times 8 is 16. And then the next part should be 8 times 1, 2, 3. So 8 times 3 gives me 24. Then the numerator cannot stay as 3. It needs to be multiplied by 3, making it 3 times 3 is 9. Now I can subtract. Now, here was the mistake that many people made. They did this part fantastic. They got this, and they got this. And then they forgot they're supposed to be subtracting. They added instead. So please make sure that you look at the problem very closely so you don't miss anything like that. Denominator is going to stay as 24. Then we're going to subtract 16 minus 9. Now, I know that some people have trouble with this, so I'm going to give you a trick, okay? So I'm going to break down 16 into two parts, a 10 and a 6. And I'm going to subtract 10 minus 10 minus 9 first. 10 minus 9 is 1. And then I'm going to add that to the remainder of that 6. So 1 plus 6 is 7. That's it. If you're ever unsure how to subtract these kind of funky numbers, you make them out of 10 first, then add the remaining pieces that make up the number that you're given, okay? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just go ahead and straight out do it. 16 minus 9, borrow, 0, it's still 16. 16, subtract 9, it's still the same idea, okay? So I'm going to subtract 10 minus 9 first. That's just so much easier, okay? Oops, keep writing 6s instead of 9s. And then we're going to go, we could go 10 less than 16 is 6, and then add 1 more, gets 7, 7 24ths. Same idea, okay? Whichever way you approach it, totally fine as long as you show the thinking and the work, okay? The thinking and the work, I was looking for this, I was looking for this, and the correct answer. Those were the thinking that we were looking for. Now, don't forget, I'm going to keep saying this through every video. One thing I learned from the video is you need to state what you learned from the video. Do not say, I learned how to subtract fractions. Means nothing. It is meaningless to you, it's meaningless to me, and it's meaningless to Miss Fu. It is not okay for you to write, I learned how to subtract fractions. You need to tell us exactly what you learned about subtracting fractions. What did you learn about subtracting fractions? Well, if you learned that you needed to find the common denominator, write that down. You learned that you needed to multiply the giant 1 with the numerator as well, write that down. Tell us what you learned. Please do not say, I learned how to subtract. If you made a mistake by adding instead of subtracting, then say, next time, one thing I learned from the video is then I need to make sure I'm reading the operation properly. Then that would totally make sense that you learned about how to read the problem properly. Do not say a generic statement like, I learned how to subtract fractions. That's not what we're looking for. So please make sure that you write something that is associated, that's related, that's connected to what you are supposed to be learning here. Thanks.